Hey guys, what is going on? My name's Chris, I'm your dad next door, and today's video is something super special that I'm excited about. We have here my SM48 out of my locker, and we have ourselves an SM7B. Now, this SM7B is currently on loan to me from an amazing friend of mine, Alex. Alex, thank you so much for lending me this fabulous piece of equipment. I'm having so much fun using it, setting up videos for it and stuff like that. And it is just a awesome microphone to be had. I never thought in the beginning of this venture that I would actually ever get to touch one of these. So thank you so much for lending me this and allowing me the opportunity to create these videos here. So for those of you that are new to the channel, I try to take opportunities for multiple microphones, albeit a $30 mic or a $300 mic, and try to determine the differences and comparisons of them and see how they sound when they're up against each other, see if we can do a little equalization to try to make them sound a little better or cleaner, or different things like that to try to give you a comparison of what you're really getting when you buy different priced microphones. Now, for reference, the SM48 is a super simple entry level. It is basically the beginner dynamic microphone from Shure in their SM lineup, which is their premium lineup. Now, this microphone can range between $30 and $40, but you know, it's just your entry level basic dynamic microphone. Your SM7B is roughly $400 regularly. It's $399 regularly, and it is the broadcaster microphone. This thing here is a beast when it comes to the ability of what it can do and just how amazing it sounds. It does have on the rear two attenuation, not attenuation pads, I shouldn't say. They have two frequency adjustment pads. I have both of them totally laid out flat, so that way we'd have a similar comparison since the SM48 doesn't have any options for that, but it does have a bass roll-off, and it does have a mid-range, or it's the higher end of the mid-range. It does have a boost for that as well, so you can do that as well, but I have those in the flat response since the SM48 doesn't have any options to do that, and if I do any processing, it'll be done in the EQ in post-recording. Now, in regards to the meters right here below, you guys will notice that those are going up and down. They're right at about the same levels. What is going on is the SM48 is currently running on channel left in my Behringer mixer, and the SM7B is running on channel right. So you guys can monitor the difference in levels, and any difference in audio volume that you guys will hear happens to be from what the microphone is actually picking up. It's not necessarily the signal, but it's the level that the microphone is actually receiving or the recording is getting from the microphone. I try to set these up to where they're both pretty much identical. That way you have the ability for both of them to sound the same, but you know, it kind of goes up and down as I'm doing my recording here. Now, this video isn't going to be too long here today. It's just a simple sound comparison. In this beginning portion, or what we've recorded so far, I have no filters, no processing, no equalization, nothing. This is just a straight up side-by-side comparison of the two. One of the biggest things that you'll notice is that the SM48 is your standard, what you would see with a dynamic vocal microphone, or something that you'd see somebody in a concert or karaoke bar or something like that, you know, rocking and using, kind of thing like that. This is just your simple starter live performance microphone is what it's usually attributed to, whereas your SM7B is, as I smack the 48 there, I apologize. The SM7B here comes in its nice broadcaster setup, the B standing for broadcaster, right? It comes with its own built-in mount, has the XLR cord, so that way you're not all routed and it's not sticking out the back, and you can use it in better situations. It is just a all-in-one package. It rocks, and it's just a great microphone. There's not a whole lot. I mean, it looks super professional for broadcasters, for podcasters, for anybody that's in a studio. Now, in terms of, can I run the SM7B? That's a big question that a lot of people get, because most people tell you that it is a heavy gain-driven microphone. And yes, in most situations, you are going to need some kind of cloud lifter, some kind of signal booster for that. My Behringer here has the opportunity to put out 60 dB of gain, and I am running without a cloud lifter or FET head or, you know, any kind of signal booster. I am running around 50 dB right now for the SM7B. I'm running about 40 to 45 dB for the SM48 though. So I want to make reference here that both of these are running very, very high on the gain range for how much I'm having to push and drive both of these microphones. So it's not just the SM7B that can be a power hog. Again, these do not require phantom power because they are both dynamic microphones, but you do have to have quite a bit of gain. For those that are running lower end or smaller USB mixers, you may not have enough gain right out the box, so you can pick up a FET head, cloud lifter, something along that line, which will give you plus 20, plus 25, different levels of dB boost, which will use your 48 volt phantom power signal and add that gain to your microphone itself. Now, if you are wondering maybe why I'm not wearing monitors or something like that while I'm using microphones like this, and the main reason being is because typically with microphones like this, there's going to be such a difference in the audio quality of them from a listening perspective that I try not to wear monitors so I don't confuse myself, or I don't try to make a bias on which one I think is sounding better, which one's doing better, or things like that. Now, one thing you might ask is, Chris, why don't you have that SM7B up in your face like you're supposed to? And so we can do this here right now, and we can get right up on these microphones and give you that beautiful, deep, rich tone that the SM7B can give you. One amazing factor about this microphone is that it doesn't clip nearly as easily, and it does have a great low end behind it. It doesn't pop nearly as much. It doesn't have very much attributed to that kind of situation, which is really, really good with the way Shure has designed it. Now, the SM48, on the other hand, is going to be a little different. It's going to be a lot more sensitive and a lot less control as I get closer to the microphone. I am going to have proximity effect, and I'm going to have other things going on that, are harder to manage and harder to deal with, but, they still are there, and you can still get a nice deep bass roll off out of this. But I do believe that the SM7B has better control. It has a better frequency response overall, much longer range, and a much more flat curve in the long run. And now I've kind of positioned the microphones a little bit closer together. And what I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to actually read a sample voiceover script here. And I'm just going to do a quick, it's a 15-second sample script. I'm going to put my monitors on and listen to myself here and just see what we can do to try to come up with something that sounds very, very similar in terms of, let's see, right now I've got the SM48's a little quieter. We're going to turn, or the SM7B's a little quiet. We're going to turn that guy up just a little bit more to match those up again. Okay, so we are going to get ready to read a 15-second sample script just to show you guys what a voiceover effect might sound like in comparison between these two different, microphones. So, it's that time of the year you've all been waiting for. The Exotic Pet Parade is here. This Saturday, bring your lizards, iguanas, and rare birds to strut their stuff at the 5th Annual Market Circle Exotic Pet Parade. Or just come and watch all the action. All sizes and kinds of pets are welcome. Just be sure to pre-register online at petparade.com. It's that time of the year you've all been waiting for. The Exotic Pet Parade is here. This Saturday, bring your lizards, iguanas, and rare birds to strut their stuff at the 5th Annual Market Circle Exotic Pet Parade. Or just come and watch all the action. All sizes and kinds of pets are welcome. Just be sure to pre-register online at petparade.com. And this little last portion of the video here, again, this was just going to be short and sweet. From here on out, I'm going to be using post-processing and trying to get the equalization to these to be as close as possible and try to get these to sound super clean and super simple. See what the differences are, see what's going on with them, see how they work. One thing I will note in about my space is, as you can see in my office here, these are textured walls. They're not super padded. This is not a crazy studio space. I do have some protection behind my camera here for this portion of reverb, but there's still enough in my room that when I'm doing high gain condensers or something like that, I can pick up reverb, and I kind of have to pull that out of some of my post-processing for normal videos. So I want to let you guys know that this isn't a perfect space to be recording in, so it's not something that you need a great room or something like that for. You just need to have a dedicated space that you can kind of somewhat control the environment or the ambient noises. I do have my office doors here shut to try to block out any sound coming from the rest of the house or anything like that. But, it's just kind of a simpler approach, or you don't need a dedicated soundproof booth to make either of these microphones sound decent. That's what I'm trying to say. With that, I want to let you guys know, this was just going to be a simple side-by-side comparison, simple quick take, little mic reviews versus series, whatever you want to call it. But I want you guys to leave in the comments which one you think sound better. Obviously, I think I know what the answer is going to be, but when you're making those comments, please take into consideration what you think about the price differences as well. I'm going to leave links down to Amazon down in the video if you guys are interested in either of these microphones or any of my equipment, Behringer mixer, etc., that kind of stuff. I'll leave links to everything down on the bottom of the video. I hope you guys enjoy this little quick feature, little quick tip here, and it was good for you guys to listen to. Not much else for me to say here today, so I'm going to let you go. My name is Chris. I'm your dad next door, and we will check you all next time.